Akoni Natasawas Menikisu Masmata. Good afternoon, I'm Andre StrongBearHeart from the Nipmuc Tribe. I serve as the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Nipmuc Nation, cultural bearer, an educator, and founder of No Loose Braids, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on cultural revitalization preservation. We do that through various projects like this, whether it be cultural projects or just through school presentations, public education. And really, we're in the forest nonstop, forests and swamps, dealing with a lot of land stewardship work in conjunction with municipalities and land trusts. So that's where you can find us from day to day, is usually in the forest. This is kind of a welcome home for us, our community here. We bought back some land here in Ashfield, and so we've been in relationship to this place for about 5-6 years now, and we found our home here. This was kind of a welcome into the town to come and get to know us a little bit more, but also a time for us to burn out a dugout canoe with our community and have one of our own Mishoons right here on Ashfield Lake. Mishoon is a Nipmuc word for dugout canoe. What we're talking about is actually being able to awaken a traditional skill that has been embedded in us, that isn't been lost. It's sleeping in a way. Do you see on my shirt? It says Tukish. And so when we talk about Tukish, what that means in our language in Nipmuc, it means to wake up. And so we try to create these spaces for our community to wake up, for the public to come and wake up a bit more.
I'm seeing you be a guide for these young people here who are looking like they're holding it down while you're sitting over here. And they all have kind of their own little role to play.
And I watch these young ones now, over the years. Like you said, I can walk away and I know that they're good. These are lead Mishoon burners.
Pretty much the basis. All these we just scrape them, depending on like the corners and edges you want to get, but some of them have spikes to get along the edges to fit in the groove. We'll let the coals burn down, and then with the scrapers, we'll push all the coals, the bed of coals, to one side, scrape out the char of the log actually being lit, and then move that back so it can catch back up. And with the water, obviously, it's a balance. We're freshwater people, and with the water, as a fire is being lit, we go around the edges, perimeters, to keep it cool, so only the middle can just drop down. Some people, they'll burn for a few hours throughout the day. Our family, we burn 24 hours.
We go into some days of like a dance. It's between fire and water, but then it's a dance between lighting the log and the wood that's on top of it. And so it becomes a dance. We shape it with the water, and we burn it down with the fire, and we shape it with our tools as well. And so it becomes a dance, and we get lethargic throughout the days because it's 24-hour burns. Everybody knows what needs to be done. When the Mishoon gets lit, it's all hands on deck, but I know I need at least 2 hours of sleep to be able to keep going here and there. Oh yeah, we'll just take some power naps to keep going. So throughout the days, it gets pretty lethargic, but what that actually does is it separates you from a time that everybody else is in, and it gets you deeper closely into what the natural time is that we actually exist in.
It's crazy. You'll think you're so tired after a night shift, but then you'll go back to where you're sleeping or wherever you're dwelling, you'll be wide awake just because you get in the zone.
Time is different when you're at the Mishoon Camp.
There's no time when it comes to medicine. Everything slows down. This is what we're doing. Well, whatever the time it takes.
This time that everybody else is in, this algorithm, this 9 to 5, this rat race, that's not real time, When you detach and you Tukish and you create a space like this for people to Tukish, time becomes real here in a way that you can begin to understand, because the log and fire and these natural elements are what shows you what real time is, not what people are driving by and making sure, or weekends or anything like that.
Everybody's in a rush.
We use these spaces like this to be able to share some of this information and knowledge about our truths here.
You're partnering with the town of Ashfield for this project. You've partnered with like land trusts and other organizations that weren't here, of course, before colonialism. And yeah, I'm just curious on like what that's like, working these partnerships, accomplishing your own goals, or just trying to do what you want to do.
I can definitely share that it's a challenge. We'll start there. And the challenge usually comes with a lot of historical, informational need to know basis on land titles and deed transfers and historical context of what happened to our people here. We got to get into the roots of what happened here before we can get into the forward motion of the work that we're going to do together.
What is code? What is regulation? You know, it's what you said, reciprocity. It's listening to your surroundings, trying to live close with the land.
It was our job, our duty here. We call it Nuswidamawang Sakumu Suu Not Nishnapasa. What that means is that it's our job, it's our duty, our responsibility to take care of this land in the way that it takes care of us. That was our job here. And so I don't need to get paid from the state to do that. Although if the state is creating funding for organizations like land trusts to do that, they should be funding indigenous organizations. And so, but we never do this work because money is involved in it. That's our job. That's our agreement, our sacred agreement here with the earth here, is that we need to take care of it. It's been challenging and important because our population is 2% of the population now. And if we don't find a way to learn to work together, then we're not going to get the work done that we need to for rippling into a new 7 generations, you know. Everything that we do here in this lifetime that we're in right now is for the next 7 generations. And so to be able to do that, you have to know a past of your past 7 generations.
We had gotten a NEPA, New England Foundation for the Arts, grant to do a public art project in the town, and we're holding a lighted boat parade in the fall. So Chris Nelson, who's over there, he was at the time chair of the Cultural Council, and he was part of our lighted boat parade team. So as we were in the early planning stages, he had the idea of doing a Mishoon burn in collaboration with the event. I think the thinking was mainly to honor the history of watercraft in the region and the people who have been stewarding this land for centuries. And Andre was really excited about doing another Mishoon burn and also really excited about the possibility of collaborating with the town. So it worked out really great.
It's a really big deal for us to find a home here because a lot of our people live more central Mass. Our tribe has about 2,000 members in it. Our reservation's only 4.5 acres in Grafton, Massachusetts. And that's because of the Indian Allotment Act and all the ways of forceful assimilation. What happened here for about 200 years was scalp bounties, and so our people were hunted here. And when it comes to the jobs that were here, you were either a forester cutting down all our old growth, creating this place to look like the New England, or you were hunting and scalping our people and getting per dollar per scalp per man, woman, and child. I like to share these things because you can go to the Mass State Archives, you can go to historical societies, and you can easily read about these things, but it's like an unknown history here. So we take cultural revitalization pretty seriously when it comes to what it means for our next generations to be able to walk in who we are here. We had villages from Magunkakwag, which is Framingham, all the way up to South Deerfield. It's really important if you want to understand Nipmuc people, you need to understand all the different villages, all the different families, and how we relate to each other. And it's really important to acknowledge all of the different, you'll see the different flags that are up there, those are all Nipmuc flags. If we're going to talk about unity in the next 7 generations, we need to not talk about dividing us and who should be the ones that we're talking to or who's the ones that should be doing this work. No, we all should be. And that's how we come together. But that's what society does. It tries to create a divide and conquer, right? And so, I truly believe that these spaces are creating a pathway for us to be unified. And so I fight and strive for that.